Light one up, let the wisdom flow. Real talk where the good vibes.
Welcome back to another episode. Happy to be here live at a pretty dope, lively environment. Wanderlust Smoke Shop. Shout out to the owners and the workers there for allowing us to be here. I'm here with another dope special guest, my brother, UknowMoe2. Make sure you go check out his website. But yeah, my guy Mo, he's a familiar face in the industry. He's been around for a while, and he's been, ever since I met him, he's been about the same thing, which is definitely carefully and precisely educating patients properly. Like, not just like, we're getting high to get high. It's like, no, let's make sure you know why and how you use your medicine effectively. And Mo, I'll let you further introduce yourself, but definitely, like I said, happy to have you on and have you a part of the show today and have the guests learn a little bit more about yourself and your upcoming brands and efforts to the industry.
Thank you. I appreciate you for having me on. I know we've been trying to set this up for some years now. I was like, so I'm glad that we finally got it all done and together. And like I said, I appreciate you for having me on your platform because that's definitely a major part. As you know, I guess I've actually LLC for UknowMoe2.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my actual business. But I also work for MSO, and I worked for them for probably over 5 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And throughout those journeys is where I have had a lot of interaction with trying to teach patients that cannabis is more than just the old school cannabis that we're used to.
Right. That's dope. Well, happy to like I said, get into that. We're gonna get dive further and ask you some questions about yourself and your journey. My first question I always like to ask folks, and just to the world, prove how cannabis is a medicine. How would you say it helps you medicinally?
Well, for me, it started when I was probably about 21, and I had IBS, so my intestines have been completely routed, and between that and just having a constant change from being a military brat, I've been all over the world, so I used to move like every 3 years, so my anxiety and stuff was pretty high, so it helped me be more stable and get more in contact with my just self and being more calm and keeping myself straight. Besides all the other prescription drugs that they like to push had a lot of side effects, so the side effects definitely outweigh the benefits. So I definitely chose cannabis as a route to go, and it helps me daily for sure.
That's what's up. And you mentioned serving in the military. Thank you for your service. And I don't know if you want to talk about that a little bit, or what part, but I do appreciate that. And as far as cannabis, your use, what would you say is your preferred way? Like, because as we've all become more educated, we're learning smoking isn't the only way.
Well, so I guess if you know me, then I'll always keep a one hitter, a pinchy, and a bat. So that's usually my go to, because you also can do it in lower doses, and it can still be concealed a little bit better.
Yeah.
So that's usually my preferred consumption. But I know, like you were saying, that because technically you're not supposed to combust anyway in either state, whether
Right.
you medical in Ohio or Kentucky. So vaporizer is definitely the safer choice. But in my own passion,
Personal way,
yeah,
yeah.
it's definitely either a joint or a one hitter.
Nice. I get that, and that's respectable. Like you said, everybody's got their own preference, but ain't nothing wrong with a little quick micro dose. Take the edge off. No. Now, when it comes to using cannabis, there's different like lineages and phenotypes. As we get more educated, we learn too that that sativa, indica hybrid stuff. It can help, but it's not like it's more deeper than that. As far as like terpenes and all of that, do you have a preference of your preferred terpene combinations, like or your cannabis effect you try to go for?
for sure. Usually, I mean, I guess if we're gonna say like indica sativas or hybrids, then I will lean more indica, because that keeps me more mellow, straightforward. It still keeps me fairly clear-minded. When some sativas can make me a little edgy, so I definitely prefer to do more of the indicas.
Okay. All right. And then terpene. What about terpenes?
Terpene wise, my couple of my favorite would definitely be myrcene and linalool. Even though linalool is really sedative and it can give you the couch lock effects, it's definitely one that I still lean to because of the floral taste, and it definitely makes the cannabis definitely taste a little bit better.
Yeah. So when the cannabis finally kick in though, and like especially it sounds like with the indica, sometimes you might get a little munch attack. Do you have is there a favorite like go to snack or even meal that you would hope to have around?
I guess my favorite munchie, I guess most people will call me a cookie monster because I have to have cookies. So either chocolate chip, usually,
Hey, that's
peanut butter, yeah,
chocolate
gotta
chip.
have cookies.
Can't go wrong
So
with that.
yeah, that's my number one go
You
to.
make them or insomnia or.
Sometimes I get lazy and I'll just go to the store, get my little soft bake, put them in the microwave. But my girl, she makes some slapping cookies, so yeah, so I'll
Shout out to
whatever,
her.
yeah, for sure. She'll definitely sometimes throw me down some cookies when I get the
She
munchies.
does
So
like, hey.
for sure, yep. Here we go. It's munchie time.
It's munchie time. That's what's up. And then while you munching, I mean everybody has a different way of using their cannabis and what they do, but tend usually when you winding down and about to relax, you tend to have like a go-to activity or show or movie. Is there anything that, and it doesn't have to be cannabis related, but is there anything you can think of that you would enjoy like to review or I guess watch in between?
I guess, I mean, I don't look like it, but I guess I'm pretty much like a nerd. So most of the stuff I watch, even when I'm baked, or be like investments. So I'll watch Wall Street, or I'll watch something about like Bitcoins. If I have to watch like movies or something, then one of my go-to movies is always Training Day. That's always one that keeps me together. And then Friday, you can't go wrong with
Any of those.
usually the first
that's
Friday
a
because you know what I
classic.
mean. That's always a classic one. But that would be one of my go-to
And
movies.
then Friday After Next is pretty dope too.
Yeah, that was
It get a
funny.
little trippy after that, but I hear they about to have a seven.
Yeah, and then they about to come out with a scary movie.
Oh no,
So
that's the one. That's
yeah,
about to be
scary
seven,
movie.
I
Yeah,
think.
scary
And then
movie 7
it's gonna be another Friday. I'm sorry, I done mixed this shit up, but
Yeah.
shout out to y'all, everybody.
For sure.
Keep creating.
Yes.
But no, that's funny. That's funny you say that. I was curious as far as like, are you one of those like, and not to make fun, but like C-SPAN? Would you watch that?
C-SPAN, no, I'm not sitting there watching the Fox kicker or WNBC all the time.
Okay, okay.
Mostly I'll watch one guy, he's called Trap Wall Street Trapper.
Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah, or Earn Your Leisure.
Yep,
I'll-
that's a nice podcast.
yeah,
And
I'll
they
watch
got,
their
like, an
podcast.
event. I'm trying to make it
Yep,
out to.
they have an event out in Atlanta all the time. You
Yeah,
also gotta go out and cop their book.
Oh, I got the book though.
Yeah,
You just
so
said be rich.
yeah, there you go. So
Yeah,
see,
dope.
they already tapped in. See, you
Yes,
tapped
sir.
in. So that's usually some of the things that I watch and definitely playing in the background because financial literacy is something that we're not taught and we can get drained and caught in it just swiping all the time. So if I'm gonna swipe, then I'm at least gonna try to swipe for educational purposes. To try to keep my mind, on point.
I like that. So we gonna like you said, we're gonna use this technology or the abundance of information. Let's try our best to use it right and in a positive way to help us propel society and ourselves forward. Not use it to like bring down people.
Now, everybody likes the entertainment. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, everybody got entertainment
Right.
factors, but
Yeah.
yeah, you definitely want to keep your mind clear because, like they say, where the money goes is, you got to follow the money. So you got to keep your eye on the streets. And I'm talking about Wall Street, not Trap Street. I'm talking about Wall Street out here, not
The
Trap
right street,
Streets. Yeah, the right streets. Wall Street.
Wall Street.
Wall Street.
This ain't Wall Street, but no. This Art Street. No. But no, that is important. You protect your mind, protect your peace. It's important for sure. You want to make sure that you do your best to move at a what do you call it? a balanced and harmonic way through life. Yeah, exactly. Control your controllables. Hell yeah. So if you could change one thing about the cannabis industry, I know there's more, but and if you got a couple things, go ahead. But what would it be? And it doesn't even necessarily have to be just Ohio, but what would you say?
What I would change in the cannabis industry, probably the lack of focus on education. I definitely would try to put that more in the forefront, and let people know that there are different programs for um, cannabis education and growth. And also to hopefully they would lower some of the prices because a lot of these classes and a lot of these certifications, they're not cheap. Like the certifications that I have, I don't spend well over $3,000 just for certifications. But you're going to pay for education, but that should also be reciprocal when you're going to your MSOs or you go into different jobs saying, well, I do have these certifications. I'm not just a bottom line employee, but.
Nah, that's what's up. So I'm doing hand gestures to my cameras. It's nothing against you. I'm listening.
MSOs,
Hold on, stop that. No.
FC5 drop now.
No, get on my level. No, that's a. Let me stop. But anyways, that's well said. I think, I think, we just need to open up in the right way education, because it's like we started it with the medical program, and then adult use came, and then we like walked 30 steps backwards, and it's like what the hell happened?
Yeah.
So I think we need to really embrace the importance of the education, like you said. It'll change people's perspective and their like everything. You gotta like use in moderation or at least manage it. So it's like when you realize cannabis is supposed to be used that way or can be if you like educate yourself that way, then you like change your approach and perspective to
And
how
you
you.
enjoy the benefits, experience a lot more too.
Yeah, for sure. So no, that's what I appreciate that. Well said. Now, what about stepping over in a similar direction but different? What would you say about like its coverage by the government? Do you think like since we're talking about medical, do you think it should be like a part of the healthcare coverage?
Um, yeah, honestly, because for any prescription medicine, a lot of insurance companies are going to cover it. So with cannabis being a medical use or being now decriminalized to or being rescheduled to at least something that we can actually tap into for medical purposes, then I feel like the insurance company should be able to back that cost a little bit.
Right.
You know, some type of way. I'm not saying that they gotta take it all, because they don't, but they can take some because it's not easy for somebody to come up with even if you have like your last $20, you don't want to spend that on a 283 or $60 on 3.5. Well, here in Kentucky it's a 3.5 for $62, or you get in packs of gummies. So a lot of people now are on a budget and income. So when it comes to it in real life, if they can get some type of relief, then I mean,
At a cheaper cost,
yeah,
they gonna
why
look
not?
for that. Nah, that's fair. Well said. Thank you for that, because I mean, we all, like you said, everybody's operating at a different budget, so, and that's definitely a important factor to consider when you are making medicines for people out there to realize that hey, the people that need it may not be able to like
To afford it.
afford all of the high costs and everything. So keep that in mind. Hell yeah. So if you had the opportunity to keep or to keep, now we're talking about people making products. let me get these words out correctly. If you had the opportunity to create a strain name, what would that be?
Strain name. Probably UknowMoe2.
Okay.
Yeah, I will keep it just straight, all the way 100. Because once you smoke it, you're gonna know me. You know what I mean? And I ain't talking about that pack that you just roll up and smoke. I'm talking about it's that pack that's gonna keep you educated. So it's gonna take you to a whole new level.
Higher
So
learning.
yeah, higher learning. Facts. It'd be like the when they spoke their friend in what was that movie?
I know what you're talking about.
How high? Yeah. Yeah, I'll be your genie. Yeah. I'll be your genie.
I want Right. That's what he said. I'll be your genie. No. We'll take that magic carpet ride like a rock roller. Hell yeah. That's that higher learning for real.
Man, that was a good movie.
No, that is a good movie. Shout out. I love like before I even got high, I loved that movie. So kudos to everyone involved because y'all did your parts. Even for people that didn't or don't consume cannabis, it was funny and I still felt like I was feeling something.
Facts.
But you know, I use weed and I'm like, shit, where's the magic ride? Like that.
Right. Like, hold on, where's my buddy?
Nah, for sure. But okay, well, I appreciate that. UknowMoe2. Make sure if any cultivators out there want to help them bring it to life, let's do that. We now as far as creativity, even just being a artist or a seeker of new things. Would you say that cannabis enhances things for you, especially like music, and for that music, like when you consume it, I guess, would you say that you have like a top 5 list of artists you prefer to listen to, or you have a genre or top 5 genres?
Well, I guess it depends really on my mood. So if I'm really just getting off work and I'm just I'm still in that mind frame, then I'm probably smoking at some Ti, or something a little, something a little hard,
Hey.
keep me in that zone,
Shout out Tip.
and then
Family creator.
facts. For the evenings though, when I'm trying to unwind, I'll throw on maybe like some lo-fi or something like that to kind of like, kind of lower the tone. You know what I mean? So, um, but yeah, and it really is based on how I'm feeling at that moment,
Okay.
on my music preference for sure.
I got you. So, I mean, but would you say you open to a variety of
Every,
genres,
every
or you got your certain go to?
Usually I'm open to either jazz, some rap, 2000s, back in my era. So,
Okay.
I'm stating my age and everything. I'm 21. Don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying?
Fresh.
Fresh. Right. Um, but yeah, usually just some old school. I like a lot of old school, like some Goody Mob or some Outkast. Yeah, yeah. You already know. So Andre, I mean, I even dropped his last album. Even the one that he didn't make any lyrics to, everybody jumped out, jumped out the box for. Yeah, I'll bump that every now and then too. So
The flute.
yeah, yeah.
I gotta give it a go.
But I know people were upset because when he said he was gonna drop an album, there was like, "Yo, Andre, is it gonna be lyrics?" There's no lyrics, but a big vibe. It's a big vibe. It's a big vibe. He did. He got us. I ain't gonna lie. He did good.
So yeah, that is funny. Speaking of being creative and having a story, we're going to segue to our story time. Now, when we all use cannabis, there's different vibes and different happenings. Do you recall by chance your first time ever using cannabis?
Yes,
You do? All right.
I do.
You want to share that story? Or
Sure.
how-
So I was probably around probably about 15 or 16, and we were stationed in England. So I'm a military brat. My mom and my stepfather both worked for the DoD, which is the Department of Defense.
Oh, shit.
So so they can move around just like the military.
Yeah.
So we lived off base. So me and a couple buddies, we went down to, but in England they call them the football stands, but it's just the soccer stands.
Yeah.
And we were taking gravity bonds. So that was my first time taking hash. So
Damn.
because in England they didn't have like
Flower,
cannabis, like flower, right, like Budz. They only had like the hashish type.
Yeah.
So I had some hash and I took a couple gravity hits, and then what I'm saying, next thing you know, my eyes got low, and then I was like, oh shit, I gotta go home. So I had to try to make this to walk up the hill. Me and my buddies, they were making jokes and all that, and got to the crib, got super hungry, and it was good that we were separated, like, cause the crib that we stayed in, my mom and them had a section and we kind of had a section, so I kind of could just creep off. So I just crept on off.
Yeah.
My brother, he had pretty much knew. He was like, "Oh yeah, you stoned." I was like, "Yeah, don't say nothing."
Don't say
nothing. Everything was giggly, so it was fun. It was
Yeah.
definitely a very fun and enjoyment moment. So
Hell yeah.
that was something that I knew right then that I probably would stick to.
Now, what about Now, would you say now that was your first time, but do you have any times, any high times with friends that you just recall, like, yeah, exactly, like you just it make you chuckle no matter any time?
Yeah, so um there was one time, so this is way well anyways before Dispo. So my buddy's dad had his little stash, right?
Yep.
So, he had this nice bud. My buddy, to get broke up to one bud. It was one bud. But back in the day, that one bud was kind. It was
Yeah.
kind weed. You didn't get your whole choices of like top shelf.
Yeah.
So, his dad had a little connect. So we had this little kind weed. So, he broke it up and he rolled it up into two joints.
Okay.
So I remember he brought him over to the house. We was getting ready to go, and then the phone rang. So then my mom was like, yeah, Justin's here. So his mom, I guess his daddy came home, and his dad was like, well, can you tell Justin to come home? So we both walked back over to his crib. His dad was like, look, he's like, I know you've been in my stash. So you just go ahead and at least, give it back to me. He was like, because, weed used to be, like we're paying now, $100, and 50 an eighth, 100 a quarter.
Yeah.
And back then it was even more.
Yeah,
So,
it was,
you looking like 150 for an eighth, and it was that sticky.
Sticky icky.
So push come to shove, Jay ended up getting in a little trouble, but he gave him back one joint and he kept one joint. So me and him definitely got a taste of that kind, but yeah, it was fire. Some of that Acapulco was sweet. Tastes like
the Acapulco
man,
Gold.
it was on point. I never forget
Can't
the
go wrong with
flavor,
that.
taste, sweet. It was on point.
That's what's
So,
up.
but yeah.
Let's see, and look, you sounds like you guys did what the plant wanted you to do. You shared it.
Oh yeah, we shared it. Yeah. His dad wasn't getting back both of us.
Let's divide and conquer, Dad.
Well, that is son how to roll. So he rolled one fat pregnant one, so it was just real fat in the center. So
Yeah.
he was like, hey, just give up one.
Yeah, that's a fair trade. Fuck it.
He's
Here.
like, I rolled it all in one joint. His dad's like, yeah, okay. Oh, okay.
So the cannabis, as we were just speaking about being creative well, story time, but now we're gonna transition to being creative because cannabis has definitely helped people, including myself, get that extra edge or
Sure.
higher thoughts to do things. How would it how would you say it's helped you be creative? And how did it help inspire you to create what you're doing now as well? Like, we're gonna as we involve or lead to what UknowMoe2 is, but like
Okay.
I'm just curious, like, was it your use of cannabis first, that kept you being curious to like keep learning or want to learn, and then like has it helped you be just a creative being, period?
It has, but I think it was more the stigma part that drove me to push more. Because people used to always say, if you're a pothead or if you smoke weed, then you can't accomplish anything. You can't do this, you can't do that, you can't be this and you can't be that. Just because you smoke weed, you're gonna be lazy. So I think with that playing in the back of my mind, especially when it comes from like close family members and different things like that, I think it forced me more into the industry to really dig in to show them that no matter what medicine or if I am using cannabis or not, I'm still going to be able to accomplish things that I want to accomplish in life.
Right, you can still be you.
Facts.
And you know Mo.
No, you're not. Yes.
No, but speaking of that, like, so I feel like just to segue off of that, it sounds like not only were you determined to like learn yourself, improve, and like empower yourself with the education, but you were also determined to help spread that to others, which is why or how you created your your consultant program. That's dope. And like, will you tell the people a little bit more about it? Like how I guess like the background.
How to come up.
Yeah.
So, UknowMoe2 came about probably about 2 years ago. Now I used to follow Anthony Riley, which I still follow him. So a lot of people know him. So he was really one of the main reasons why I felt that education was important too, because he dug deep in way back in the very beginning. And it started off education, and now it's more like laws and stuff like that. It's still keeping the public educated, but I felt more to segue off that the patients were since I had more face-to-face contact with patients, that's where I saw that there was a lack of.
Yeah, I see. Like,
So,
I get what you're saying. Like, just that gap between true patient experience, education and experience and knowledge versus just a retail experience.
yep. And then they lose that too from when they go to the doctor. The doctor tells them, okay, well, you have this condition, you can do this and this and that. And then they go home, have a whole bunch of paperwork, finally make it out to a dispo. And then they're like, okay, well, you're supposed to be the one to tell
me what
right.
to do.
And if you're not educated or if you haven't had the background in it, then you kind of like.
And that's a good point. Because, especially in the beginning times, there used to be even virtual when those started happening too. But like doctors would consult, and if they, depending on how long they did it and where they didn't, it's not like they like held your hand, especially for those first time users or first time dispensary visit people. So that can be a little nerve wracking when you like, you don't know what to do. Like it's your first time in the
dispo.
Yeah, like in the dispo, and you like, okay, I got the card. I had a conversation with my doctor, and they gave me these guidelines, but I still don't know what I'm asking for or what I'm looking for. Like,
right.
And once I do get that, where do I begin from there?
Right,
so
the next step.
Yeah.
So I definitely felt that it was necessary to close that gap.
Okay.
So opening up my platform at UknowMoe2.com.
Yep.
Is where you can kind of go and get a lot of your basic information. But just like anything, schools you pay for, education you got to pay for. So, consulting does come with a fee.
Yeah.
Like, it's free for the first 15, but then after that, you got to charge because,
it's a service.
Yes, and I paid for my education, so,
Yeah.
I'm giving you my knowledge, so that's what you're paying for.
That's dope. You putting in the knowledge, you putting in the time, sharing your knowledge, and the efforts to, help further uplift the community. So, I definitely respect that and will support that in any way. So you make sure y'all do the same and go check out my brother UknowMoe2.com. Yes. All right. And then also go check him out at one of your local dispensaries. He's definitely around and willing to help down in this Southern Ohio area, the Queen City and in Kentucky area. So he ain't limiting himself, as I'm learning.
Yes.
The man is connected in multiple states, and he's definitely, like he said, he's got the grind, he's got the determination, and to be on this educational grind.
Yes.
And help spread it. So kudos to my brother Mo once again. Thank you for taking the time to be a part of this. And like you all should all know by now, we're all just buds and we're all just growing. Just remember that, because no one's perfect. We developing over time, but at the same time, it's important that we make progress in the right way and further share like education about this plant in a positive way.
And you giving us this platform is great. You know what I mean?
I appreciate that.
So, like I said, we can't do anything. We can't do any of this without you. So, we appreciate you for hosting and giving out the platform to get the knowledge out.
Thank
you.
Yeah,
I appreciate you.
Likewise, I just want to help shine the light on people that's putting in the work, man. Because this is a can of community, and we're all, like I said, we're all just building it, but we all are putting in work in numerous ways, and together as a whole, they can't stop us, and we're putting in the Lord's work. And this was definitely a medicine that's been used a long time ago. So we just reawakening, nature's beast. All right, y'all, we out. Time well spent.